some of the things that have unfolded under his leadership. I think the Republicans are sitting there thinking, you know, if we can keep this guy in office, just think what we can do with good guys. Just think what we can do when we have really good candidates that aren't in trouble, that aren't under investigation. And I think that the Republicans and the corporate infrastructure is making a lot of mistakes and also making a lot of gains in Wisconsin. This is a template. They're learning how to do this. And as they learn how to do it, they are chipping away at the Democratic infrastructure. And that's why, from a mental standpoint, for boots on the ground, this is so important, because there may come a point when Democrats say, no matter what we do, we can't fight this. And that's why this entire election cycle, not only on Tuesday, but through November, is going to be vitally important for this country.
And part of the reason I wanted to talk to you about this specifically is because you are obviously a national figure. You've got a national radio show. You've got your national television show. You're talking to people all over the country. You're responsible for covering things all over the country. But you have been on Wisconsin, forgive the phrase, but you have been on Wisconsin every single day relentlessly since this fight started, covering it every single way that you can. And I wonder if, from that sort of dual perch that you have, somebody who's focusing on Wisconsin but talking to people nationwide, you have a lot of great contacts with Democrats nationwide. Do you feel like Democrats realize why Wisconsin is important? I mean, if Republicans get their way and they're able to break the unions in more states, does the Democratic Party understand how that's going to affect the whole party and every swing state in the country for years to come?
Oh, I think they do. I think liberals and progressives in this country understand the ramifications of not a good outcome on Tuesday. I think that they realize the importance of this. I think that Democrats and liberals understand the workings of what they're up against. And they're frightened in many respects. They are afraid of what the result is going to be, and we'll find out if fear is a motivator. But I think the Democrats in Wisconsin, in their heart, feel like they have done everything they can at this point to cover all the bases. It's an onslaught of commercials against information in a 16-month period. And they feel confident that if they can get their people out, that they're going to be able to set an example for the rest of the country to prove that it can be done. And so I think that this is a pivotal moment. I have been on this story because fundamentally I knew what the Republicans were trying to do. Fundamentally, I knew that this was the last great voting bloc that the conservatives in this country wanted to take down. If they can get in there and really put a big hole in the floodgate and open up the floodgates, it's going to be hard to turn around. It really is. 80% of union membership in this country is concentrated in 16 states. And the Republicans feel there's no better place to go than the birthplace of unions to set the table and set the record straight for the way they want to run the country and make it a right-to-work state. And that really is their mission, to make every state in the union a right-to-work state. And I do think, in answering to your question, that Democrats in this country, they get it. They're watching Wisconsin. This is a big development.
Yeah, and there's a reason that every Republican bold-faced name in the country has been in Wisconsin taking Scott Walker's side. They not only want him to win the recall, they want to use the Scott Walker template around the country to destroy the last vestiges of unionization in this country and thereby run the table in every election that they can. And you've put the spotlight on that for Democrats more than anybody in the country, man. So I know you're going to be there in the next few days doing pretty intensive coverage. Thanks for staying up late on Friday night and helping me cover it tonight, Ed. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Rachel. And you have been on it as well. I mean, I think that this is vitally important for the country. No question about it. A real turning point.
Thanks,
Thank
man.
you.
I appreciate it. All right. You can catch a full hour of Ed every weeknight, of course, right before the show, 8 Eastern on MSNBC. And as we head toward the recall election on Tuesday night, Ed is going to be doing live shows in Wisconsin, including big shows that are open to the public. You want to check out the Ed website, which we have linked to at Maddow blog tonight to learn more about that. There's not going to be any more intensive and interesting coverage on that story anywhere else in the country than right here with the Ed Schultz Show. All right. Even if Republicans do run the tables in Wisconsin, let's say they defeat Democrats in every recall election on Tuesday, I have to say there is something else going on in the battle against corporate control of politics. One state is trying to do something about it in a way that has gotten really no national attention but totally deserves it. And that's coming up.